Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. It's a weird episode. It was a weird episode. But I mean, weird episode. I mean, like, there wasn't really that much going on. Like, the scene with Willow and Nina and Christina sitting there talking about how happy they are to sit there and be organized and how Willow and Michael are such a good pair because they're so organized. And I'm just like, really? Like, really? I don't know. I felt like that whole scene, even with Michael and Sonny Smith talking, just went nowhere. It was just flat. I mean, I guess it's kind of nice that Michael Smith and Sonny are starting to repair their relationship. I guess that's cool. But other than that, nothing. Now they did sit there and say that Avery couldn't go because she had like a stomach ache or whatever, so she couldn't sit there and go. So it seems because here's the thing. In my live stream, I think like maybe yesterday or the day before, we were sitting there talking about like, yo, where's little Avery at? But they were sitting there saying that Polaris is like, Avery's sick or whatever, so she couldn't make the trip. So Avery's safe. Avery, on the other hand, well, that's an entirely different story. Finn pretty much tells Gregory that Chase knows, and he feels like crap. He does. Here's the thing. He's wondering like how it happened, how he found out, and I'm just like, does it matter at this point? You know. I mean, granted, they gotta sit there and go through the whole scenario for people that didn't watch it, but it was like, does it really matter? The problem with this episode is that even a scene where it's supposed to be super emotional, like Chase telling Brooklyn about his dad dying and everything, I guess it just felt kind of flat to me because this whole episode didn't really do much. So it's like, by proxy, when you're watching that scene, I want to feel something, but I don't know. This episode wasn't really giving it to me. One thing that I'll sit there and say about about this particular part, don't look on the internet for like, if you find out, heaven forbid, you find out that something is going on with your parents, your loved ones, about their disease, illness, whatever, don't go on the internet because you're just going to get more freaked out than if you was to sit there and actually talk to a doctor and have them explain it to you. It's just a lot worse. Just take my word for it, okay? Um, Now the thing with Cyrus and the warden, all the warden says is that he's leaving. Is that she's leaving. She's leaving Port Charles, and she's going to be going to Texas, and something about he'll be taken care of, and so will Drew, which obviously, to tell you the truth, when she was talking about Drew, it's not like good. Um, I just got the sense that it's not good. Now Carly and Alexis, this thing is kind of weird to me because it's like they're pretty much trying to. I don't want to sit there and say blackmail the judge, but pretty much if this judge is hanging out with this quote unquote special interest group or someone from that group, because it seems like what Alexis is basically saying is that he has a pattern of handing out these sentences based off of whatever these special interest groups are focused on at that particular time. But the thing is, Alexis is like, listen, I'm going to bring him in for the interview. He's going to sit there and talk and hopefully loose lips sink ships or whatever. And I'm just like, what makes you think that he's going to sit there and confess to you that he's talking to somebody or he's hanging out with people that he shouldn't be hanging out with? I mean, at this point, you don't really have any evidence that he's actually doing. Yeah, you have a pattern, and it's not good, but I don't think it's enough to sit there and be like, "Whoa, hey, listen, I didn't think you was gonna sit there and find me out because I'm trying to get on motion, and I don't think it's enough to sit there and try to pressure the judge into either giving him a lighter sentence or just commuting is sent us all together. I don't understand how that's going to work. I really don't. She seems like at this point is more just grasping at straws. And it also seems like something that anyone um, with a brain could sit there and kind of figure out, like, yo, listen, he's meant to doing this for this, he's doing it for that, but you don't have any proof. So I don't really understand what their plan is. But to be fair, Sasha, Dante, and the rest of the Scooby Doo gang didn't have a plan either, and somehow that just worked itself out. So, yeah. Lucy decided to actually do the right thing. And I'm glad because at this point, even Scott, Scotty was like, no, don't sit there and sell your shares. You gotta sit there and fight, fight, fight. And Lucy's starting to feel bad. Lucy's like, yo, listen, she got 3 kids. She just got a house. Like, if this whole thing goes south, she's screwed. The rest of the staff that we just announcing is going to be screwed. So she finally decided to do the right thing. And, Maxie, kind of had a bit of an outburst with her. And, she apologized later on. But it was like, no, you have every right to sit there and feel how you're feeling. It's like, she's holding on to that stock. But I'm like, and a lot, I mean, I don't want to say she kind of screwed the company because she did. I mean, granted, she didn't know that she took an idea from somebody else, but her idea did wind up helping the company. So I can't say she screwed the company, but what she's doing right now is screwing the people that work with her. And apparently Lucy and Maxie are best friends because I guess that's been a thing that I didn't notice. Weird. Every time they sit there and say, oh, she's my best friend, it was like Brooklyn and Maxie, when Brooklyn was like, oh, I can't believe I screwed over my best friend, it was like, they're best friends now? And yes, I know they decided to bond over the baby Lou or whatever, but it just, they don't give me best friend vibes. They really don't. But for the sake of the show, sure, whatever. Anyway, she realized that she was, doing Maxie and everyone else wrong, so she decided to correct her mistake, which is good. Took her a while to get there, but whatever. Towards the end, I'm assuming that's Lois that's looking at the paper from the Sun, from One Life to Live, about Brooklyn and I guess her latest um screw up at this point. I saw the promo, so I know that Lois is coming back. I know a lot of people are excited about that. When I started watching the show, she was already like not there anymore. So I'm interested in the actress. I wasn't really a fan of her as Quinn, but I like the actress, so let's see. Let's see what happens. Um, I don't know. People was really hyped about it, and I guess maybe it's one of those things where it's like I shouldn't sit there and have too much high expectations because when I sat there and watched the scene with Jackson, everyone was super thrilled, and I was just like, I don't really get the big deal. But I guess it's one of those things where it's like you have to know the character to really be truly excited. So if you don't know who Lois is, kind of keep your expectations at a bare minimum. I think I've learned that over the years, well, the later years of watching General Hospital, just keep your expectations right here. Because, yeah. Let's see. I feel like that's about it. I mean, I wound up doing this video twice, so I could have probably wound up leaving stuff out, and I just really don't feel like doing it again. But just overall, it's not so much that this was a bad episode. There was just not really stuff that wound up happening in the episode. Like, even the whole, trying to get Judge Kim or whatever, it's like, they don't seem like they have a plan. Like, their plan is to sit there and just let him talk until he just, magically confesses because, like, I don't get that. I also don't get the scene with the plane. It was just completely padding. The only thing that wound up the only good thing that wound up happening was the relationship seemed like it's getting better, Michael and Sonny. Other than that, you could have just took that whole scene out and it wouldn't have affected this episode whatsoever. I wonder where I'm about to say, I was wondering where Brooklyn went, but she probably went to go to see Tracy. Um, which I don't really understand why she's so upset with him. Because even, Gregory seemed like he was going to be upset at first, but then Finn was like, yo, listen, there was a whole incident with pepper spray, and she just assumed. But I'm like, if you would have told him, then this wouldn't wind up happening. So again, you pretty much dropped the ball at this point. I don't know. I feel like for the most part, I kind of covered everything. This episode wasn't super great. Friday's episode wasn't super great either. I know the episodes are going to get better, and I know. Not every episode could be amazing, but it could be somewhat interesting. Like you can move the storyline for some of this stuff a little bit forward. Besides the whole Lucy thing, I feel like everything else is just like maybe a step and a half, bare minimum at that. I don't know. I feel like I probably missed some stuff because I wound up getting the text and it just kind of just I think I kind of covered everything that needed to be covered. All in all, you could completely miss this episode and you'll be fine. Either watch my review or Brock TV's review and you'll be good. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.